My creepy Tinder date. I had just gotten over a breakup from a 3-year relationship, so I decided to go ahead and make an account on Tinder. I'm a 29-year-old, I travel quite a bit for work, and have been around a few different cultures. I do adventurous things, and as you could imagine, I also occasionally make some pretty rookie mistakes. I do, however, try to remain diligent and alert, but I have those moments where I let my guard down. So after being here in South Florida for several months for work, I thought that it would be a good idea to go out to a bar or two to meet some people. After rethinking, I drew the conclusion that it might be scary doing that. I felt much more confident hiding behind my cell phone. Coming out of a long-term relationship, I wasn't entirely sure what to do or how to talk to a romantic interest, and because of that, I just wanted someone to hang out with and see where it goes naturally. A few days on the app, and I end up matching with a handsome 31-year-old man who had shared interests with me. We chatted a bit for a few days until eventually I felt okay giving him my number, after talking back and forth for a couple of weeks. We met at a bar in downtown Fort Lauderdale and had a couple of drinks. I have to say, at first, I didn't recognize him because he didn't look like his photos to the extent that I was expecting. He didn't look bad by any means, but I could tell that he used older pictures and edited them enough to where he would seem more appealing. I swear I'm not trying to sound superficial, because he was good looking, just not what I was expecting. But I also think we've hit a point in social media culture where it's safe to assume that we won't see the same thing in real life as we do online, and that's okay. Things start getting interesting. We discussed the usual first date stuff, then we went more into detail. I told him about where I'm from and about my job, and how life was different down here than it is where I'm from. At one point, we started holding hands, and at that same moment, I felt comfortable enough to let him kiss me. As we were leaving, he asked me if I wanted to get ice cream and go back to his place to watch a movie. I told him I knew what movie really meant, and that I wasn't comfortable doing that on a first date. He assured me that it would be one movie and that he would give me a lift home so that I didn't have to call an Uber. I agreed to go back to his place, and we got some ice cream and walked to his apartment, which was a few blocks away. As we were walking up the stairs, he made some extremely questionable comments. He said how I wasn't like most girls because I accepted his invitation to go to his apartment, and alluded that, you never know, I could be a psychopath or, God forbid, a serial killer. He then looked at me with a lustful grin, his eyes glued to my open-toe shoes for a few seconds, and then back at my face. As he was trying to open his front door, he said, "Do you like feet?" I looked at him, nervously chuckled. As we got into his apartment, he went to the bathroom and left me sitting on his couch. While sitting there waiting for him to finish doing whatever he was actually doing, I noticed between his couch and the wall there were 2 masks. One was a weirdly shaped Halloween mask, and the other was a 17th century European doctor mask. It was super weird, but it didn't end there. What was more alarming was that he also had a set of Dynasty series Emperor knives wrapped in an old leather case. At that moment, I was freaking out on the inside. I wanted to leave without him knowing. I got up to get my stuff from a shadowed coffee table near the bathroom. The toilet flushed, and then I heard the doorknob turn. The door opened up. I grabbed my purse and told him I needed to freshen up. Luckily, he knew that women usually take a long time in the bathroom. I swiftly made my way to the bathroom, with my heart pounding and thoughts racing. I locked the door behind me. I was so overwhelmed with fear that I started uncontrollably crying. I tried not to make a sound or make anything suspicious. I saw a closet in the bathroom, so I opened it. To my surprise, I saw a black leather jumper hanging from a screw in the ceiling. I also noticed some heavy-duty black rubber boots at the feet of the jumper. I immediately started to panic. I thought I was about to be killed that night. I opened the drawer looking for something to defend myself with, but all I saw were a few pairs of heavy-duty gloves. What the fuck do I do now? I thought to myself. What have I gotten myself into? I quickly got myself together and thought of a few escape plans. Plan number 1 was to tell him that I don't feel well and need to leave, but I was scared he would have gotten aggressive and hurt me. Plan number 1 was no good. Plan number 2, I thought of climbing out the window. I couldn't because I was on the 7th floor. The fall would hurt. It's not a good idea. Plan number 3, maybe I could get him really drunk, have sex with him, and leave while he falls asleep. Aha, that should work. After his 7th shot, we got into bed. He asked what changed my mind. I said I get really horny with alcohol and ice cream. He was as drunk as a skunk. He didn't know what day it was anymore, so he believed anything at that point. We engaged in some foreplay, and then I took charge of everything that happened after that. After he got to the point of no return, he fell asleep. I told him that I'm going to wash up and come back to bed. After 10 minutes, I came out of the bathroom, saw that he was in a deep sleep, and left his apartment. I did not feel like being murdered or trafficked tonight, I said to myself. I hurried down the stairs and into the street, where I was able to catch a lift. I got into a cab and made my way home. I felt such a feeling of relief when I saw my house. I locked all the doors, took a shower, and headed to bed. I turned off my phone just in case he tried to call me. The next morning, I changed my number, deleted the app, and requested a new location assignment. 2 weeks later, my request was approved. I was so relieved that I did not have to go to that office anymore. It was a block away from the bar he always goes to. My next stop is Nashville. I made a promise to myself I won't do another stupid thing like that again.